really exciting day today. It's 6:30 in the morning. I'm actually running a bit late. I hope the boys don't mind. I'm driving over to Portrush where we've got a fleet of 3 Wayfarer boats, and we're going to take them from Portrush in Northern Ireland across the North Channel to Islay, which is one of the Scottish Western Isles, and that means a 30-mile crossing of open sea in 17-foot open boats. It's going to be a really exciting, challenging day out, and I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm sure it's going to go well. All week there was the inevitable Atlantic system coming through, and a gale and huge waves, and we've woken up today to sunshine and it's calm, and we've just got the perfect moment to go and do this trip. Right, well, welcome to Portrush. It's a seaside town heading down to the harbour, and here's the trip. Starting at Portrush on the Northern Irish coast down there in the bottom left, heading up to Port Ellen and Islay in the top right. The tide's going from west to east, which will help us, but in fact, because we're on spring tides, we would go too far east. So I've slightly exaggerated in the diagram, but we're going to have to head a little bit west of north, which means heading almost into the wind. Not ideal. Also got to avoid 2 big hazards: the shipping lanes, which you can see in pink on the right hand side, and circled in yellow, a shallow area out in the middle of the channel where there are overfalls. The gang's all here. So we had to get all our gear out of the cars, get dressed up, get our life jackets on, check bombs, and there was a fair bit of nervous chatter. People were realising this was a big challenge.
To either get into the middle of the bay.
And here's the team. We had 3 Wayfarer dinghies with 2 crew in each. We had 2 safety boats, also with 2 crew in each. Later in the day, a yacht from Portrush Yacht Club followed us across, and they'd kindly carried our baggage, so we had excellent support for the trip. And the special mention to Will, who had organised everything, who'd got us together, who had spent months preparing the boats and getting them ready to sail. We simply couldn't have done this trip without all the work he put in. Freya was already on the pontoon. The other crews went out in the safety boats to the moorings, and once we were all aboard, it was motor out of Portrush Harbour, waving a fond farewell to family who thought they might never see us again.
We've got George coming as well. We've got one more passenger.
Try and keep her up.
Yeah, that's what I found. I could. Good. So the trip plan had been to keep the fleet together, and we don't really know why. Our wooden deck boat in theory was going to be faster, but we couldn't point into the wind as well as the other 2 boats. We simply couldn't stay with them. And you remember that hazard area which I'd marked avoid on the map? Well, guess where we ended up. But these Wayfarers are amazing sea boats, and it just added to the adventure. And to illustrate the point, here are the other 2 boats, sailing beautifully in fairly rough seas and making a good quick crossing. Oops! That wasn't good. I think so.
Okay.
Okay. I was just saying about the yacht. The shipping lanes were busy. We had to tack twice to avoid bulk carriers who definitely had right of way, and we had to be careful with the yacht coming in the other direction. The whole adventure was living up to our expectations. Oh well, we're comfortably going to go astern of this thing. Let's get some of the road pictures.
I do this in the road.
At last, we could see that Islay was getting closer, and that we knew that we could complete this voyage. We were going to win. We were going to make it. There we go. There's Port Ellen. After 6 hours sailing, we were close to Islay. We turned to starboard and we were running before the wind into Port Ellen. But because we were before the wind, it was harder to control the boat. And as you can see from the chart, all those yellow dots, they're hidden reefs and rocks. So we had to drop the mainsail and motor in. That didn't go as smoothly as it might have because a float at the masthead was wrapped round the shrouds. We had to go round in 2 big circles, jibing both times before we could get her down. But we made it. You can lift it out. You can lift. What an enlightened place Scotland is. We were allowed, in fact we were welcomed to camp on the grass on the shore there just beside the marina, and the locals were so friendly. It's a great place. I want to go back.
Marvellous little Des Res.
With a sleeping bag and a pillow.
Ah, pillow. Oh, show off. Show off.
Yes.
I'm going to have to stuff a jumper into the tent bag.
Now honestly, we're celebrating with a cup of tea here. Not single malt that we'd bought on the island. And if you believe that, perhaps I could interest you in a great financial deal I have. All you need to do is share your bank details and I'll do the rest. That's why they were dear. It wasn't tourist prices.
I thought it was just beans.
There we go. Starving.
Distress fire.
Anyway, I've got my new transit and it's working. Hee. Nope, no thanks.
All right, yes, sorry.
Bread is one of the things I avoid.
Slow on it, yeah. Should go for the Atkins diet then.
Look at that hotel.
We used to go to a place.
Go on then, Patrick. I want a good one.
One good one.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh no, it's a sideways one. That's not
Oh,
good. It wasn't
yeah.
a very good stone. We'll get you a decent stone. Decent stone, then we'll go careful.
The camera comes out, no good stones are available.
The perfect stone. Quest for the perfect.
Ah.
I threw them all in earlier. That's terrific.
Here we are. Here's a good one. Okay. 3,
Oh,
2, 1.
yes.
Ah, baby.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah, yours.
Very good.
You know, we are clodding stains. Oh, very good, very good.
Yay.
Good one.
Nice heavy one.
Hey, Barney.
Thinking no. Piece of gum.
Oh, that was so rubbish. Well, we cheap backpacking tent on the job again. Day 2, time to go back from Islay. This time we're going to go to Ballycastle. So the trip plan is to leave Port Ellen up here. We're going to have to go a little bit across the tide, so we've got a course to steer to bring us down to Bull Point on Rathlin, and then we're going into Ballycastle. And that gives us the best chance of avoiding any of the major overfalls on the route because we're on spring tides, and makes quite a nice circular route. Conditions are beautiful today and calm, so we'll see how it goes. Goodbye, Port Ellen!
Goodbye, cruel world. I trust you slept well, Ivor.
What a difference a day makes. Yesterday it was all wind and waves. Today it's flat, calm and lovely sunshine. But unfortunately that also meant 7 hours of motoring on a wee 2-stroke outboard. But sure, we're still having an adventure and it's still great fun. puffin! We had hoped that our speed problems yesterday were just to do with not setting the sails very well, but even under the motor, our boat didn't have the hull speed to keep up with the other two Wayfarers. Can't explain it, but again, we were making our own journey, fortunately with a safety boat staying with us the whole way across. And after 6 hours of motoring, we were approaching Bull Point on the west end of Rathlin. We decided to go round the west end because there are major overfalls on the east side, but we still ended up with some fairly bouncy conditions. We were able to sail a very short section around Rathlin, but once we were into Rathlin Sound we were against the tide, there wasn't much wind, it was back on the motor again. Do you know what? Doesn't matter that we had to use the motor a lot on the way home, we still felt we'd achieved something special. We'd crossed the North Channel to Islay and back in one weekend in small open boats.
Worked it very well, you know, glided over quite a few.
Of what?
The overfalls.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That last bit.
Aye, it was lovely looking, and you just got it right on, and it went
You get
through.
some surf through it.